Just discuss that for a minute, man.
For sure, man. Like, that was the best moment in my life, man. Like, you don't know what you have until you lose it. Like, you have an idea, but we spent years behind the wall just thinking about all the opportunity we lost. Just thinking about, like, what it's really like to live and the people that were in our lives that really cared about us, right? And we took it all for granted when we were young. It was like, tomorrow that'll be there, and then you just keep putting it to the side. And so they were like things that I wish I did, right? And all that. But that moment when I was out the door, and y'all gonna see it soon because all of this is coming in film. Like, there's a lot of things coming up in my future right now, but like, I was able to grab my moms and my two sons. My oldest son, who cycled through prison like it was the Mall of America from the age of 15 to 27, was finally out. And like, he just came and bear hugged me. And then my mom's on top of it. Then my other son, who's taller than all of us, he's the youngest, and just came over the top. And we just held each other for so long. And I just remember my mother, like, she was screaming, crying, but it was tears of joy. And that moment, I felt so much peace. There was a sense of healing that I can't even explain. That, like, all that trauma, all that drama, for one moment in time, when I crossed that gate and held my family, it was just like there was so much peace resonating inside my soul, right? And then from there, like, he knows I was working for Hudson Link for higher education in prison, helping dudes get degrees, right, after I got my degree. And so Hudson Link for higher education's office is right down the block from the prison. So when I get there, man, there was so many dudes I did time with, so many family members, so many friends.
Hudson family.
Absolutely.
We just had them yesterday here, Sean. Big up to Sean.
Big up to Sean Pika and everybody else who was there September 9th, 2021, waiting for me to come out. I appreciate all of y'all. On some real shit, like, it was like there was so much love and the people were there. And it was like, I'm coming out of this SUV limo, pulling up, and it's just like everybody was going crazy. I stuck my head out the window, gave everybody a big salute. When I came out, it was just so many people. I mean, like, we could spend this whole podcast.
I couldn't make it, man. I'm still upset I couldn't make it,
Word, man. It was great. And then so we chilled there for a while, and then later on, so before I left Sing Sing the last few years, and he was able to do that too before he left, we was in Honor Block together. And so from 7 Building, we have our own little yard that sits up on this specific place in Sing Sing where you could just look at the Hudson River. And it's like, it's a beautiful sight. There's a bench that you could sit there and just stare out there for hours. And I always used to stare across the water. And so they were doing a documentary at the time. NBC was working with Rock Nation to do a joint documentary, follow-up documentary on the previous documentary that was aired in 2012 about my journey in with wrongful convictions. This one was like, yo, he's still there. And the project got sapped by COVID, but right before then, they had taken my mom's on the other side of the water and had her talk about her dream seeing me come home on the other side of the water looking at the prison. And then they came in and they filmed me talking about me wishing to get to the other side of that water because my mother's over there, right? Because my mother was actually living on the other side of that water. And so, like, staring at that for me is different because I seen this is my family's on the other side of that water. It's not just, like trees and houses. Right. That's home. Right? It's my new home when I get out. And so I used to see it, right? And I believed it, and that's why I got it. So the day I got out, that evening, they rented a restaurant on the other side of the water from Sing Sing. And so everybody was over there. Manny that was with us, Manny and my son Mikey that was also with me in the Have, they took me shopping real quick just to change up real quick and get something on that fit. Because you asking for things, and they fit, but they don't fit right? And so they took me shopping real quick, and then we went to go meet everybody else over there. And man, it was just, that was community. That was family. That was love. And I mean, I've been to events since I've been home. I've been to all kinds of, different, situations in life where, you get to experience joy. But I don't know if anything will ever add up to that again.
Once again, big shout out to the Hudson Link family. Man.
Absolutely. Hudson Link for life. It's a lifestyle.
Big shout
That's
out
right.
to everyone that actually heard your story, that got involved. Because now, like, what is John Adrian-Valasquez up to these days now? What is it that you giving to the community? What is it that you're doing now? I mean, so much lost time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like, we're here now, right?
Absolutely.
And I know it's like, you see that poster where the lights is just like flashing, and it's like, all right, are we slowing it down to actually see the lights, or are we like, tell us, like?
Yeah, no doubt. For real, like, it started inside for me, right? It was a seed that was planted when my moms had told me what she told me. And when she planted that seed, and my trajectory changed, it was all about, like, there was so much shame attached and associated to incarceration. Whether you're guilty or not, like, my kids have to say my father's in prison. My mom has to say my son's in prison. And some people will believe that I'm innocent and some people may not, right? So there's this shame that's there. And the only way that I can turn that trauma into triumph, right, and overcome my suffering is by making people proud of me. And so we started doing that inside. We found innovative ways. We thought outside the box to figure out ways to do that from the inside, right?
Literally.